Hey, all about fishing with Big Kev. Hey, welcome back. Hey, today I wanted to show you one of the ways that I fish is drift fishing. I love drift fishing. Me and my buddies drift fish. It's an excellent way for cat, blue cat, wiper, walleye, white bass. We've even caught crappie. But drift fishing is an awesome technique. I've got fish or rod holders on the boat that actually allow me to do 5 to 6 rods if you span them out, in a certain way to where they won't get tangled up. And so you're able to use a lot of rods. If you buy in Kansas, you have to buy the 3-pole permit to have 6, or depending, 2 per person, or if you buy the third pole permit. But generally there's 2 to 3 of us in the boat, but allows you to fish a maximum of about 6 rods in my boat, being close to 20-foot boat. So that gets us comfortably doing it without tangling up and so forth. But we love drift fishing. You cover a lot of water, over a period of time. It's a good way to fish and relax. You can communicate with whoever you're fishing with, shoot the breeze, kick back, listen to the radio, quietly, eat your lunch or whatever. But you're able to fish and control things and kind of just, it doesn't take a lot of boat control other than just watching where you're going and making sure you control. I usually drift with my trolling motor in the water. It's not on, but I have a remote with my iPilot. I have a capability of, if I get into trouble or the boat getting too close to something or somebody, I can lock that iPilot down real quick and that boat will sit still, and then I can take care of whatever other business I have to take care of. So anyway, drift fishing's a good way to do it. I use medium heavy rods, 7-foot, and I like the round bait caster style reel. Now my grandkids, we drift fish with them, and they'll use the Zebco, the Gold Max reels, because they're used to that Zebco style reel, but they also reel these in. But it's a good way to, family time wise and other ways of drift fishing. So what I wanted to do was kind of show you how I rig up my rods, my units for drift fishing. It's kind of rigging them up to do multi-species. One thing I've really got used to using is the hook with the styrofoam head. And they come in all different shapes and sizes, shapes, colors, as you can see. So, drift fishing, I use these. And a lot of times when we're drift fishing, we're using worms. Especially with youth. Worms are they're an awesome bait to start with. They're relatively inexpensive for a live bait. And the kids can handle them. They can put them on the hook. They can do their own thing. And it's a great way to get them youth out there and fully involved in the fishing aspect. So we use worms. So the first thing that I've noticed when I'm fishing is when you're drift fishing, if you run everything directly tied to your line, over time your line's really going to get to where it twists. You've got to have some kind of way to keep that twist from the rod to the end of the hook out of the line. So I use swivels. And a buddy of mine introduced me to these here last year. They're made by Whisker Seeker. And they're a heavy duty swivel. I mean, Whisker Seeker is a big catfish company that does tackle and stuff for catfish, but I use it's a size 6 swivel. It's a pretty good size swivel. But this rotates. So it keeps that line out. So the first thing I do is I'm going to tie, and I'm going to use the Palomar knot. remember to wet that knot with a little bit of saliva, water, whatever. So when you pull that knot tight, that knot doesn't build up heat. And that monofilament, I'm using 30-pound monofilament. So another thing, don't use your teeth. Cut that excess line off with, I use fingernail clippers. So cut that extra line off and dispose of that properly, that extra line. And hey, I got these, by the way, I got these All About Fishing with Big Kev lanyards with some line, they're fingernail clippers, but they're line cutters. If you're out at the lake, hit me up. I'll give you a lanyard with a line cutter on it. This is the way we teach kids to cut line, is these fingernail clippers. It's the safest way for them to handle things on the water. So now I got my swivel tied on there with a Palomar knot. This is a slip. It's called an Easy Slide slip. Easy Side slip. It's again a Whisker Seeker product. And it looks like this. So what this does is it allows the weight slip it through. Like so. So now that weight can slide back and forth up to that swivel. Now Whisker Seeker sells a little bump pad you can put on your line. So when that hammers down on that, it won't do as much damage, but I don't have those, so we're just going to use this. And by the time that hits that swivel, I'm going to go with that. So anyway, that's what your weight will tie to. This is just basically a big clasp that you can open up. We're putting a 1 ounce, lock it down. So basically that's what you got. So it looks like that. So you've got your swivel, your weight, and you still got the other side of your swivel. So I've got an extra piece of mono here. And what we'll do is we will tie another knot. Well, that didn't work. Again, wet your knot. I just licked my fingers. We try to teach kids to do that. Pull your knot tight. Use your cutters to trim it. So forth. So now I've got the swivel with however long a leader I want on it. Now, I'm going to go with about 2 foot. So I'm going to cut a little bit of this off. And now this is where your hook will come on. This is a 3/0 hook, pretty good size hook. Again, I'm licking my fingers, gonna put a little saliva on that knot and get that knot nice and tight. And then use my clippers, cut about, oh, maybe 1/8 of an inch back on the line, like so. So, when it's all said and done, this is what you got. You've got your weight on a slide with a swivel and then your hook. So this is going to allow that hook to rotate. See that swivel rotating as that bait's floating through the water. That weight is going to be able to slide as needed. Now, when drift fishing, I will tell you that depending on the speed of your drift, it will rely on how much weight you use. So the faster your drift, your line will start to pull up when you're using these floating head hooks. So if you're wanting to get on the bottom, and what's nice about using this type of weight holder, one, it slides. Number two, you can either add another weight like this to the thing or take the smaller weight off and apply a bigger weight to get that down deeper, depending on how fast a wind you got, how fast your drift is, and so forth. Of course, if you're wanting to control your drift, you can use a drift sock on your boat, help slow that process down. I will tell you that drift fishing last year, we caught buku fish, and I'm talking every species. Walleye, great for walleye, great for wiper. When you get them lower suspended fish on the bottom, depending on the water temperature and the time of day and the year, a lot of them fish get down in that suspended water. Even if you're in 10-foot water, you can drift. Get it down there in that 10-foot area, 15 foot, 20, 25. It just, use your weight, and you'll tell if you're on the bottom because the way the action, the tip of your pole's dragging and releasing and dragging and releasing. If you watch the video where we're out blue cat fishing, you'll see the poles go down and then release. That's that weight holding that line, and then you get so much force on it that weight releases. The tip of your pole comes back, resets, and then that weight holds that bait and then resets. So I just wanted to show you some of the products that we're using, that I'm using, what we do out there. Again, these larger hooks are something new this year. Only place I could find these, and this style, and then these are some 1/0s, and again they come in all different colors. These are 1/0, but I get stuff like this from a company called Walleye Supply, and I believe they're up around Fargo, North Dakota, and I have had excellent luck with these guys getting stuff to me. But they have offered this, and it's been a really good product. So I used these religiously last year, but I'm using these bigger ones this year. I started with these highball floater hooks, and they worked great. They really did. These are a number 2 hook. So, and they come in different color heads as well. I keep a good stock on my board, and then in my terminal tackle box I keep a lot of those. Weights are weights. You can get them anywhere. These are 1 ounce from Shields. My local hardware store carries these. This is a 2 ounce weight. Here's a 3 ounce. So, you know, weights are in all different sizes and shapes. You can buy them in these multi-packs to get all different sizes. Like I said, depending on your wind, how you do that. So hopefully that helps you figure out a way to set up a drifting rod. That's my way. It's been very successful. I just wanted to share that tip with you today. Please like and subscribe. All About Fishing with Big Kev. We'd love to have you. We're going to do a lot more educational aspect of things in the future. So please like and subscribe. And like I said, if you see me on the water, see me out the boat ramp, hit me up. I got you a lanyard with a line cutter on it. Hey, till then, take care. We'll see you on the water. Tie lines, everyone.